Hey guys, it's Aristo back with another Fire Emblem video, and I actually decided to do this one last minute, but I wanted to go over something really quick. As of recording this, it is August 27th, 2019, so the game has been out for a month, and I've already finished the Golden Deer Path 3 different times. Don't ask why. I was mostly trying to build up the saint statues, not gonna lie. I've already finished the Blue Lions, and right now I'm doing the 2 other paths in the game. By the way, this video is gonna have somewhat spoilers. You know what? Yeah, it's gonna have spoilers. So, without further ado, let's introduce ourselves to the Golden Deer. Claude gets a unique class of his own, just as all 3 lords do. But for some reason, it's called Wyvern Master online, but the game I have him in says Barbarossa, so I'm just gonna go with Barbarossa. I don't know if I'm saying that right or wrong, but to get to that class we want to focus on Claude's bow first off, flying, and authority. Those are the big 3 for Claude. We're gonna want to make sure he has an A in each of those sections, with a B in Axe just because of the Wyvern Rider certification, and a C in Lance because of the Wyvern Master. Now you don't really need this one because the Barbarossa kind of takes the place of the Wyvern Lord as a Wyvern Master, but I always just put it on because javelins and short spears, and just because you don't know what'll be more effective. I like to have my characters be a bit versatile on what they use, but sometimes you just have one-trick pony. But Claude, he will be really useful with javelins if you know how to set them up properly. Alright, moving on to Lorenz. Lorenz obviously, well, I don't know if it was obvious enough, but with his abilities in Reason and in Lance, I eventually made him a Dark Knight. And I did this throughout most of my playthroughs because it was just that easy for him to go through and it was just so natural. But what I want people to focus on the most, if they're going to take any advice from this, is to have Reason, Writing, and Axe be an A rank. Now, the reason for Axe, even though he won't become a Great Knight, or if you wanted to become a Great Knight, you could do that, it's because of the weapon that he gets. And that weapon, while I can't pronounce the name right off the spot, is an Axe. So if you max that out, he'll be able to be using it really effectively. After that, B+ in Faith, I always try to give my mages some magic form of each, and having a healer on horse who can focus on dark magic as well is pretty useful. Finally, Lance C. I don't really use lances with Lorenz that much, but it's kind of just there for the certification exam. Other than that, Lorenz should be really well as a Dark Knight, mostly focusing on magic. Moving on to the probably hungriest of the Golden Deer, we have Raphael. Now Raphael can become many things. Great Knight would probably be a really good choice for him, but I always turn him into a War Master, just because I feel like that's what he would want, if that makes any sense. But I know the rating for the War Master, well, at least how I have him, is 180, and that's higher than the Great Knight. But for Raphael, you're going to want to focus on Axe, Brawling, and Armor. I always focused on Armor just so that if I wanted to, I could always go back into a Great Knight with him in case I ever needed it. But honestly, this one's a bit iffy because honestly, he only needs Axe and Brawling. You could take out the Armor entirely if you needed. But if you do want to go that route of making him a Great Knight, giving him B+ in Writing is also another good strategy, and then a C in Lance just to kind of even him out, kind of like with the other characters. I'll give him a Javelin so he can hold on to that, so he could be a bit more versatile. But other than that, Raphael is kind of simple. He's really easy to use, and I don't really see anyone messing him up too badly. Next we have Ignatz, and Ignatz easily is a bow knight. Give him A in bows, writing, and authority, and that's pretty much all he needs. On the off chance that you want to do anything else, make his lance a B+. I know the requirement, I think, is just to have it at a C for a bow knight, But if you make it B+, you'll be getting in a bit more damage, and then you can also have something to attack right in front of you. I know the mini bows do great damage, but sometimes they're just not enough compared to like a Brave Lance or anything else. And then if you want to sword C, I mean, I kind of turned him into a thief at one point because I wanted him to be an assassin, but then I kind of diverged from that. But I still find myself using a sword with him sometimes. Now on to probably my most favorite female character in this game, Liza Thea. Now, Liza Thea kinda is a bit broken in my opinion, especially as a Gremory. For that, you'll want to have her with Reason, Faith, and Sword all at A. Luckily, she could also become a Mortal Savant, which is also really well for her. But I like choosing the Gremory path solely because of the ×2 black magic uses, ×2 dark magic, ×2 white magic. It's just overall better for her in my opinion. But giving her a sword would not be a bad idea at all, especially if you give her, what was it called, 11 sword. Other than that, Faith B+, just like how I said before, I like to give all my mages a bit of both magic. And then probably a C on Lance, because like I said, javelins are just that well in this game. Or I don't know if it's just me and the way I use my characters, but I find myself using javelins and short spears a lot. And other than that, Liza Thea is pretty easy to promote. Mortal Savant, even Dancer, I gave her the dancing class and she uses it pretty well. And Gremory, those are the biggest three I can give her, and honestly I don't see her getting anything else besides Gremory, because with that she can easily body the Death Knight in multiple chapters if you just do it the right way. Marianne, I had turned into a Holy Knight, and I don't see this as a bad class for her. I was iffy because I was wondering if I should get another Gremory alongside Liza Thea on my first playthrough. But the more I thought about it, the more I kind of wanted diversity, and honestly Marianne is just a really good Holy Knight. I mean, at the end of the day, any flying or riding unit is going to be better than an on-foot unit just because of the Canto ability, and I find Marianne being able to do her job really successfully. Like, if I stride someone and then am able to go ahead in the battlefield instead of just striding and staying still, I get that extra movement, and that really helps. Onto her skills, I gave Reason A, Riding A, and Sword A. The reason I didn't give her Faith A is because I feel like she needs to defend herself a bit more, and I didn't focus on it that much. And the requirement for the Holy Knight was only a B+ on Faith, so I just did that. And then the Lance at C, only because you need that as a requirement, or you can just get lucky, but I always like to meet the requirements, so a C in Lance. But other than that, she doesn't really need anything. I know she gets a sword called Blutgang, I think. Blutgang, something like that. And that's the only reason I gave her an A in sword. I honestly could make her a Mortal Savant, but the only reason I gave her that was because of her relic. Hilda was actually a character I had trouble with when I was playing the game at first, because I didn't know exactly what she wanted to be. She kept suggesting a lot of things, and I mostly went with Great Knights with her. But then eventually I found out how much better she can be if she's a Wyvern Lord. Claude being the only flyer kind of sucks because he kind of goes on his own, but when I take Hilda with him, it's really easier for him to stay alive because there's now 2 people to hit in around the same area if you set them up the right way. But with that on the note, you're gonna want a A rank Axe, Flying, and Authority, a B+ in Lance, because like I said, javelins come in real handy, and then a C in Bow. The only reason I gave her a bow is so that she can have some extra reach, especially while she's on Wyvern, and I've just found it really useful. I mean, all the Golden Deer are really well with bows, except for a few here and there, but other than that, Hilda's almost like a copy and paste of Claude, honestly, but with some things shuffled around. And it's pretty funny in a way, but other than that, she's almost as useful as he is. Honestly, Leone was a hard one for me. I didn't know what to make her at first. I wanted to make her a Wyvern Rider, a Great Knight, and even a Falcon Knight, and I felt so stupid that I didn't realize how great she was as a Bow Knight. Now, this took me a while because I had to recruit a certain person from a certain class to unlock the paralog between that person and her. And within that paralog, she gets to actually use a relic of sorts, and this relic does not require a crest to use, and that's when I knew she had to be a Bow Knight. So obviously, just like Geralt, you should train her in her lance and riding, and as well as her bow, because that's gonna come in real handy to have all those three at an A. Second, I'd put Authority at B+, and just so she's a bit versatile, give it an axe, because you know, short axes and hand axes, those will be really well if she's going to be a Bow Knight, because she can have great versatility while riding around on the horse. So that's going to be it for my advice on how to promote the Golden Deer. It was my first playthrough, and honestly, I only kind of did it because I felt like Claude was the better of the three units. And well, I don't regret it. That story was really great, and if anyone needs help figuring out what they should do, just watch this video, share it with someone else who might need some help. Like and subscribe, and thank you.